So here's a question I get asked quite frequently. Someone's buying a house and they decide that, hey, you know what, there's a few things I'd like to fix. Is it possible for me to add those to my mortgage? And the answer is yes. So imagine you have someone, a couple, buying a house for $200,000. And their plan is to put down 5%. So that would be $10,000. And they come to me and say, Scott, I want to do $15,000 of improvements on this house. So that's great. We can do that. So there's their improvements. And what happens is the lender says, okay, great, we have a purchase price of $200. Now we need to get a contractor or someone to give us quotes on the actual work that's going to be done. So we get quotes, and then we would add that to the 200, and then our lending value becomes 215,000 instead of the 200. So there's a couple things to be aware of here. Obviously, one of the things that happens is if you're putting 5% down, your down payment changes a little bit, because 5% of 215,000 is actually 10,000. And I did this on my calculator on my desk here. 750. So that would be a minus. So 215 minus your down payment, as you can see, went up by $750. So that's not the worst thing in the world if you manage to get $15,000 of improvements. But the other thing to be aware of is that this money, you don't actually get this money right away. So they don't just cut you a check and say, go do the work. For a couple reasons. One, they don't actually, the reason you don't, if they gave you the money, there's a chance you may not do the work. So they don't want you to take the money and run to Vegas with it. So to ensure that you do the work, there's a couple things that they do. First, they can say, we want to see an inspector. Inspector has to go look at the house. And usually this is an appraiser, and they'll go in and confirm that the work's done, and then they release the funds. Or they want to see paid invoices. So every lender does this slightly differently, and depending on your situation, one can work better than the other. Sometimes there's a cost to have an inspector go in there. They may charge you for that, but so there are nuances in how each lender does it. So that's one thing to be aware of. The other thing is that you are actually paying interest on that extra money, even though the money is sitting in the lawyer's office. So the $15,000 will usually sit at the lawyer's office, and it will not be advanced until the work is complete. You would still have to pay interest on it, though. So obviously it's in your best interest to get the work done as soon as possible. So maybe you caught this, but one of the key things, if you've got to get the work done, how do you pay to get the work done if you don't have the cash? Well, there's a few different ways that people do it. One way they do it is with a credit card. I know it sounds expensive. It's not the ideal way to do it, but it can be done if you have that kind of room on your credit card. A better way to do it, if possible, is family or friends. So you borrow some money from family. You've obviously already been approved for the money, so it's not like you're not going to get the money. And then you just pay them back when it's done. And other times you may have a contractor or a builder who will extend credit to you. So they'll say, great, we'll do the work based on a deposit. But in either case, no matter what, you have to actually get the work finished before they'll advance the funds. So that's a key thing with a purchase plus improvements. There's one other thing that you have to be aware of is that if you came and said, I bought this house and it's really bad, I want to do $100,000 in improvements, most lenders are not going to let you use this program. They're going to probably call it a construction loan instead. And actually, it's going to be, I'll have to do that in a different video, but there tends to be a limit to how much they will add into a purchase plus improvements. Because if you're going to tear the house almost to the ground, then it's no longer just a minor improvement, and it can be a little bit more challenging. So if you have any questions about how this works, I am happy to answer them. You can send me an email to scott@scottpeckford.ca.